Hi guys, welcome back to another workshop video. In this video today I'm going to change the clutch fluid on the GSX. Now it's the same for more or less any bike that's got a hydraulic clutch. I'm going to be draining out the fluid that's in here, because if we get in a little closer, it doesn't look too bad on camera, but that is dirty. And if you compare that to the brake fluid that I done just the other week there, that's absolutely clear. So what I'm going to do is get the fluid drained out of there. I'll get the little cover off the sprocket at the front there, because that's where the bleed nipple is, and we'll get that fluid changed nice and quick and easy. Next thing we want to do is get this cover off, because your bleeder for the clutch is behind this cover. Now when I went to do this last week, while I was doing the brake fluid, I wanted to get all the fluids done in one hit. This fixing here was chewed out, so it didn't let me put the tool in to turn it, as you can see there. So what I had to end up doing, I didn't film it because it literally just took me less than a minute, was got the old trusty drill out, drilled a hole in it to get, well, a pilot hole really, to get the easy out started, or the stud extractor, and put my stud extractor in. Now at the time I couldn't find my kit, so I had to leave that until I found it. And the extractor that I used, I mean, these are great bits of kit, every garage should have one, was this one, and you just basically screw the worm in, and then it'll take a bite, this will bite into the fixing, and then you can turn it out. And because this is a left-handed screw, when it screws in, it just winds it out. And there you go. It takes the knackered fixing out with it. Now I've ordered up new fixings from Suzuki, so hopefully they'll be here in the next few days. So we'll get the rest of these undone. I've ordered 3 fixings, and they weren't cheap. I popped up to the dealership thinking that they would have them in stock, but not. I had to order it. So the guys are going to post that out. So we'll just whip these 2 out. Like so. Take the cover off. That's not too bad in there. And just give this a little clean. It's actually quite clean back there as well. Pop the nipple cover off it, off the valve. I'll just give that a little clean. And I think that'll be an 8mm as well, same as the brakes, so that's an 8mm spanner there. Yep, just give that a little crack. Yep, that's going to come off. And same again, I'm just going to use the homemade brake bleeder. So I'll stick the end of the hose onto the nipple of the valve there. Now again, I like to route the pipe up the way when I'm doing these sort of jobs, so it's like that. Now the reason why I don't think I explained this in my last video, but the reason why I like to have the tube pointing up the way is for when you are bleeding the system. If you don't shut the valve off properly, or what have you, and your hose is pointing down the way, the gap between the valve and the hose, there'll be a bit of air in there, and it can potentially soak it back in. Now when it's pointing up the way like that, the fluid will be sitting and then at the bottom of the tube there, so basically against the valve, so that if it isn't cracked or locked off enough, all it's going to draw back in is fluid, brake fluid, so you won't get any air in the system. So that's the plan anyway. So what we'll do now is I'll jump up to the top and I'll get the manky brake fluid out the clutch reservoir, or is that clutch fluid? Anyway, it's the same stuff. .4. Right, back up the top. So again, I'll just get some old covers and cover up the paintwork. That way it'll keep it protected in case I spill any. And me being me, I'm always guaranteed a spill. And it's just par for the course. Stick another one in there, so it's covered up really well, so anything that does fall in or fall out or drip out, it's just going to get soaked up on the cloth. Right, again, GIS screwdriver, get them out. 1, 2. Right, put these somewhere safe in the tub. And we'll get this out. And again, that's the same as what was on the brake, all crusty, so I'll need to give that a clean. Get some tissue. So that we can set the diaphragm on. Right, a little tissue. And again, at the top of that, minging. So I'll need to give that a clean. Right, that's the top. And just carefully take this out, make sure it's not stuck onto the reservoir. There we go. Right, I'll set that aside and I'll give that a little clean before I refit it. And that is minging as well. You can see, I don't know if it'll pick it up, but you can see the dirt inside there. Right, I'll just set this off down here. Yeah, that is absolutely black. I'll bring you in for a closer look. Right, there we go. Look how dirty that is. That is really bad. I'll get my torch. I don't know if you'll see that very well, but look at the colour of that. Absolutely black. And yet it doesn't look too bad on the side glass. But when you actually see it, it's dirty. Very dirty. Right, I'll get that soaked out with the turkey baster and we'll get it filled up with fresh fluid. Right, turkey baster. Look at the colour of that. Look at it, absolutely minging. So I'll just try and get all of this out. Right, this was well overdue a clean. I don't know if you'll be able to see in there, but look at the muck that's in there. Look at that black crap in the corner. And another corner there. So I'll get that cleaned out. I'll get that absorbed up with some tissue, and we'll get that muck away from that corner. That is bad. Right, just to show you how mucky this is, if it's a clean screwdriver, pop that in there. Look at the muck on the end of that. That's minging. So I'll need to get that cleaned out. And there's a little metal ring there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'll take it out. This has been disturbed. If I can get it out. There we are. That should sit on top of that hole and face that way, like that. So I'll get all this cleaned out and we'll reseat this. That shouldn't have been floating about inside the reservoir, so good call to get this done now. Right, just with a bit of tissue, nice clean bit, get that in there. Get all this muck out. Look at that. Right, that's had a little spray with some brake cleaner, so we'll stick that back in, and that should go in there like so. That'll bring you in, let you see what I've done there. Right, there's that little tang back in, and that's the orientation it should go. It shouldn't be floating about the corner of the master cylinder like what that one was. So that's it all fitted in now. So what I'll do is I'll get some fresh brake fluid in there, or clutch fluid as it is now. This is the same stuff as I used for the brakes. Dot 4 brake and clutch fluid, and as you can see there, I've got my slit in the bottom for pouring the fluid out, and a little hole there so that air can go in as fluid's coming out and it doesn't spray about everywhere like a dafty. So again, I'll just top this up. There we are, it's just under the full. Put the cap back on it, and we'll jump down the front. I'm just going to give that a couple of pumps just to exhaust any air that could be in that hole. Right, now we'll jump downstairs. Right, working from the bottom, we will crack open this with the clutch lever pulled in. So I'll pull the clutch lever right in and we'll crack that open and close it. And as you can see there already, got some of the fluid out, so I'm just going to pressurise it again and crack that open and pull the clutch in and lock it off. And again, same process as bleeding the brakes. Just keep an eye on that level up there, that's fine. And clutch in, open, close. Clutch in, close. Clutch in, close. So just keep doing this until it starts running clear. I'm starting to get low up there, so I'll put some more fluid in that. You don't want the fluid going below that hole, because if it does, you're just going to draw air in. That's starting to go clear now. Now I'm just going to empty that reservoir. That way I know it's had a good flush through. It's a bit tiring on the fingers. Right, that's that nearly empty, so I'll just top it up and that should do it. And then give it another couple of pumps just for good measure. Go. Right, I think that'll do that. Let's get it all built back up again. Right, that's everything cleaned up now. So I've cleaned the diaphragm. So again, it's just a reverse order of taking off, putting it all back on, giving the little plastic cap a clean. So we'll stick that back in, and I'll try to clean up this as best as I can, but as you can see, there is still some bits of white fern. That's just off the aluminium. So we'll stick this back on and grab the screws, which are down here. 1, 2, and stick these back in. Again, you don't want to go mad tightening these up. There will be a torque setting for them, but just a nip will do. Like so. Get them straight. I like them straight. That's one. Right, that's fine. Dandy. Nice new clutch fluid in there. And already that pedal does feel a hell of a lot lighter. Happy days. Excellent. I can even hear it moving. Right, let's get the bottom end cleaned up. Right, that's everything down here done. So just give it a little wipe, not that there has been any spillages, and we will undo this. Just let whatever's in there drip away into the bottom. Right, that's tight. Nipple on, and a final little wipe down. Not that there's been any spillages, but I just like to have things clean. A clean bike's a happy bike. Right, there we go. Now, I'm still waiting on the new fixing coming, so I'll just loosely fit this cover just now. This is the screw that I'm needing to get replaced. There we go, that's that one lined up. That way I don't lose them all. And finally, the last two. Again, I'll just stick these in hand tight because the bike's not going out. It's not going out again until I get my new bolts or screws, fasteners, whatever you want to call them. That way I don't lose them. Stick them in the bike. Right, there we go. Nice little wipe down. There we go. Well, that's all the jobs done on the bike that I wanted to get done. The brake fluid's now done, and the clutch fluid. And the clutch certainly feels a lot lighter. The pedal feels a lot lighter now than what it did prior to changing it. And I couldn't believe how much muck was in there. One of my mates suggested on the back of the brake fluid video, he says, Sean, he says that could be the original fluids that's in that bike given the mileage, and I wouldn't be surprised if it actually was. This bike's only done 16,000 miles now. Last year, when Alex, or the year before that actually, when Alex took hold of the bike, it only had 7,000 mile on the clock, so it's really not done any mileage until we got our hands on it. So anyway, I'm glad that the fluids are all done now, and I know they're going to be good for at least another 2 years. So on that note, guys, if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, why not hit that subscribe button down below, and if you've liked the video, why not give it a little thumbs up. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.